Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it, and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the Rolex Oysterquartz Day-Date, reference 19018 in yellow gold, 36 millimeters. This is a timepiece that was part of a family that bowed in 1977, very much in the spirit of the integrated case, lug, and bracelet watches of the 70s, and the Oysterquartz shape has suddenly found itself red hot in our moment as of 2019. The watches were rare, launched in 1977, and ultimately discontinued after 2003. All Oysterquartz Day-Date and Date-Just models probably add up to no more than 25 to 30,000, making this one of the scarcest regular production Rolex watches of the modern era. Now, the timepiece here has a 1987 serial number, and in yellow gold, you can see it's resplendent on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. The watch represents true luxury quartz, and I'm a fan, as the watchmaking here is impeccable, high-end, and remarkably advanced, even for the year 2019. You do not see many thermocompensated quartz chronometers even today. Now, the timepiece is 12.5 millimeters thick and from lug to lug 42 millimeters, meaning this cushion case profile, 36 millimeters in diameter, wears quite easily, even on a wrist as small as 13 centimeters circumference, so it's a wonderful unisex option if you're looking to get into vintage Rolex and you want something that's not just another sub, GMT, or Daytona. This is right up your alley and mine, as I have to say this is one of my favorite watches of all time, and easily one of my favorite Rolex models. If I were buying vintage Rolex, this would be the representative in my collection. Now, you can see the integration of the case and the bracelet. This was actually trialed in the Rolex 1530 and 1630 models just before the arrival of the proper Oysterquartz caliber 5035 and the 5055, which is what you have here. You can see the bracelet is integrated, and it's integrated to the point that both the serial number and the bracelet reference are on the underside of the case here, along with the hallmarks, so they're not at the end of the lugs like you would conventionally find on Rolex watches from this time period. The watch does have a sapphire crystal, and as you can see, it's original tritium signed dial, so it really offers very modern functionality with few compromises. The integrated bracelet still looks great with a combination of satin and polish, and you can even see that there's a little bit of a hairline bevel along the flank, much like you'd see on a Royal Oak or a Nautilus. Rolling over to the bracelet and the clasp, you can see that it is a crown clasp like you would find on a conventional Day-Date, though it's not the President bracelet, it is the Oysterquartz bracelet. The removable links are fixed by screws, and the crown, as on the conventional President crown clasp watches, is the only cue as to the break point between the two sides of the bracelet. Rolling back to the case, you can see, unlike other Rolex models from this time period, there is no aperture or perforation in the lug, as this was considered to be a high luxury piece. You have a conventional Rolex fluted yellow gold bezel, and you can see this one still features its characteristic twinkle. The watch has been refinished, and I would say there's a little bit of play in the bracelet. So to be perfectly honest, this watch is probably a 75 to 80 on a scale of 1 to 100. It's a daily driver, and for some that will be a relief, as if you want a good example from this time frame in good mechanical condition, this is a fine choice, and you don't have to worry about wearing a museum piece or a time capsule piece that needs to be kept perfect to retain its underlying value. The dial is immaculate, and it's easily the best part of the watch from a condition standpoint. A Surti dial, all diamond. You can see a combination of brilliant cut and baguette. Tritium signature. There is a golden sunburst, and you can see open 9s and open 6s. It is a single quick set with a hacking or stop seconds function, and an applied yellow gold Rolex crown with yellow gold indices on top of which the diamonds are mounted. Tritium dial, that is tritium hands as well as dial base, and you can see all of the original tritium lume plots are still in place. Pull the crown out all the way. It is a screw down crown. It is a 100 meter case, and you have the ability to stop the second. Now, let's just roll through. Okay, we weren't in the date change zone. You can see that the watch is a single quick set. It is not a double quick set. That wouldn't come until 1988 with the conventional mechanical Day-Dates, but it has that lovely vintage date disc in matching yellow gold. Now, what's inside the case is possibly the most impressive Rolex movement of the second half of the 20th century. You can see this has a little plastic fixture over it. That's the discoloration you see. But it is Rolex caliber 5055, 11 jewels, watchmaker built, watchmaker regulated, thermocompensated, and exceptional refinement. that allows the watch to essentially defy extreme cold and hot, which generally has a profound impact on quartz movements. It also features a manual trimmer, so over the decades of the quartz crystal's life, as natural quartz drift takes hold, the watch can be adjusted by your watchmaker, preferably a Rolex Pro familiar with these movements, and you can maintain that same precision as when the watch earned its COSC chronometer certificate straight from the factory. The trimmer, the thermocompensation, and the quartz chronometer status are extremely rare in quartz calibers, and the combination of the three puts this in the elite ranks of, for example, Grand Seiko 9F calibers. It's that good. Now, the movement, of course, with 11 jewels does need to be watchmaker assembled and serviced periodically, but quartz has its privileges as the watch can run to 1 minute or better per year, so somewhere between 2 and 5 seconds per month, which is exceptional accuracy even by quartz standards. Remember that plus or minus 15 seconds per month is standard for quartz timepieces, and the battery has a 2 to 3 year typical service life, so you don't have to worry about wearing this watch all the time, winding it, or keeping it energized. The watch is remarkably advanced, remarkably rare, and even today one of the most sophisticated quartz calibers ever made. A Rolex in-house movement, this timepiece features a form as well as a function that are alternately trendy with the integration and the 70s style, and timeless with the precision and refinement of the movement. See it and fall in love. Find out why this is my favorite vintage Rolex model on the Watchbox.